Absolutely electric stuff from your pitching staff this weekend. You've only used 3 guys in 2 games. Excuse me. 3 different pitchers have gone to the mound this weekend. You have completed 2 games in the SEC against a top 10 team. Guys, don't let this fool you. Do not let what LSU's pitching staff fool you of what they're doing on the road right now in Norman. Guys, in 18 innings pitched, this staff between Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson, and Kason Evans, 18 innings pitched, 1 earned run. 1 earned run. ERA of .50. 27 strikeouts, 5 walks. Batters are hitting 154 off of them this weekend against a top 10 team. Nevertheless, we are live. We have lots and lots to discuss here tonight. I will get to a rant later on in the show. You know, I've been thinking all day, been working my ass off all day, needed to. But later in the show, I got to get on a rant about football. So you're probably not going to want to miss that. Tonight and here, for most of it, we're going to be talking about LSU baseball. You know what it is. Do us a favor. Hit the like and share to all those groups. If you're on Facebook and to all those social media pages, you watch us, listening to us on YouTube. Like, subscribe, notification bell, wherever you listen to podcasts. Rate, review, and subscribe. Let me quickly talk about our good friends over at MyBookie. Guys, MyBookie.ag, your one-stop shop for all things March Madness, which, quite frankly, guys, it starts tomorrow. Who are you going to be rolling with? That will be the question. But our good friends over at MyBookie. March Madness is here. It has been here. The Final Four is here. For the first tip-off every single night, you know where to go for the high-stake matchups and wild finishes. At MyBookie.ag, get back, to sweeten the deal. They're going to give you cash if you use the promo code MM50. That's MM50. When you sign up today, you can boost your overall bankroll on those deposit bonuses. Bet on every game, anytime, from anywhere. That's MyBookie.ag today. Also, every postgame show is brought to you by our good friends over at Service Hawk Digital Media. With the right leads, smart systems, and real growth, get a marketing system that works. That's Service Hawk Digital Marketing. That's servicehawk.io. Guys, when you go there, if you need right leads, smart systems with real growth, you need to go over there. Leave in the comment box, hey, I was listening to you on the postgame show over at AYS. I'm looking to build my business. I'm looking to build my referrals. I'm in sales. Go over to servicehawk.io today and let them service you for all of those needs. Nevertheless, let's get to it here. Tonight, I thought was, last night I kind of ended the show, and the thought that I had to end the game last night was simple. Look, Oklahoma just got shoved at by Cade Anderson. 9 times out of 10 with a top 10 team, that team's going to come back and respond, and they're going to do everything they can to respond. Guys, they got to win the game tonight, not just to lose the series, but then they're facing a potential sweep dead in the face. I'm at a loss for words of what team was actually more focused coming into the game, to be honest with you. I do not. The same Oklahoma team that showed up last weekend versus Alabama is not the team that I expected. Well, that's baseball. But a lot of that has to do with what you did on the mound your damn self. Top of the first, Derek Curiel into the shift, hits the ball to second base. Shortstop fields it and gets the out. Jared Jones would strike out. Danny Dickinson would walk, and Ethan Fry would strike out. So, again, in what feels like every single time when you're on the road, that first inning, it is what it is. That first time through the lineup, It just always is what it is. At least that's what it feels like in that first inning. Just wait. Here come the Tigers. Anthony Ianson in the bottom of the first gets a fly ball into right field, gives up a walk to Gamble, who is hurt. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. And then gets a line drive single in the 6 hole. So 1 out, runners on first and second. And, again, just like we kind of were maybe a little bit last night, it's like, oh, man, here we go again. Can Ianson get out of it? Not a great way to start. But he gets Willits to fly out to center to Chris Stanfield at the warning track. And then for Christensen, he gets his first K. Guys, the hitters 5 through 9 for Oklahoma, you have dominated. Every single time that you have gone through the 1 through 4 hitters, that's where I say damage is done. It's not like really they've done anything, but the hits that you were allowing, the extra base hit that you allowed last night, all came from the guys in the top of the lineup for Oklahoma. 5 through 9 has been god awful. And then Ianson gets to that 5th hitter, gets his first K. Top of the second, Stephen Milam leads it off with a walk, and Josh Pearson, who had one hell of a night, gets hit by a pitch. And you feel like, all right, man, no outs, runners on first and second. You're starting to feel pretty good about where you sit at the current moment. But Luis Hernandez and Tanner Reeves would strike out. So you have 2 out and 2 on, and you're like, damn, man, are we really going to be in this second inning and not get a run here? But Chris Stanfield on the first pitch, a curveball inside, low and inside. With the quick guys, we've been talking about Chris Stanfield for a while now. I don't give 2 Rudy Poos what anybody tells me. Guys, he keeps hitting the ball hard. He keeps getting extra base hits. He's hitting over 315. He's around 320 now with his batting average. Chris Stanfield, again. Now, if there have been moments and times with Stanfield at the plate that he's looked a little lost, sure. That's everybody to some extent, and that's going to be during baseball. But this is another time, like last night, like last weekend, Chris Stanfield delivers, runners on base. He gets a 2 RBI line drive double into left field. Not the hardest hit ball that you'll ever see. You leave a hanging breaking pitch to a 9-hole hitter, and what makes LSU so damn dangerous? Guys, no disrespect to Alex Milazzo whatsoever when I say this. It's a massive difference from 9-hole to 9-hole from a year ago. Stanfield delivers, gets the game started, and you get your first 2 runs of the night. Derek Curiel, little pop-up bloop single or double in the right field would score. Chris Stanfield, you're up 3-0. Line drive by Bear Jones, who had a magical night. No home runs, didn't matter. Bear Jones had 3 hits on the night. Would get him an RBI there. And the Tigers in the second inning would be up 4-0. Danny Dickinson would try to bunt. Third baseman playing back. Charges it. Does the catcher, makes a slide on the infield, and was able to make a big-time throw to get Danny Dickinson out of there. But nevertheless, Tigers in the second inning, plate 4. Anthony Ianson in the bottom of the second. Remember, the theme of the night is going to be Oklahoma comes to the plate. They get some guys on, runners 1 through or guys in the lineup 1 through 4. Guys 5 through 9 has been against LSU this weekend. And for what it's worth, Ianson and Anderson and Evans have absolutely shoved. That is not to take anything away from them, because that bottom of the lineup damn near won the series against Alabama last weekend for Oklahoma. I watched all 3 of those games, weather delay or not. Bottom of the lineup in the telecast tonight, the Oklahoma telecast, for what it's worth, even mentioned it like, damn, man. I mean, Branch hadn't struck out like at all during the season. Branch, okay, the 6-hole hitter, has more strikeouts this weekend against LSU than he had all part of the season combined. Like, that is insane. But in the bottom of the second, Anthony Ianson would go 1-2-3, getting a ground ball to second base and back-to-back strikeouts on Taki and Willis. Top of the third, you go 1-2-3 yourself. Ethan Fry with a fly ball in the left field that would be caught. Stephen Milam would ground out to his counterpart at short. Josh Pearson would hit a fly ball into left field, and you go 1-2-3. Bottom of the third. Remember the top of the lineup again? Remember the top of the lineup? The only 2 runs that Oklahoma will get comes from the top of the lineup here in the bottom of the third. 2 runs in 2 games. Dominating stuff. Harris comes off in an E5 by Tanner Reeves, a hard hit ball. They give him the error. I mean, like, guys, he's not going to be able to make the play if he attempts to move. Tanner Reeves has never played third base in his life. We talk about this every week. I love Tanner Reeves at the plate. You're going to give up something in the field of play. The kid it's not working for him right there. He is a second baseman. He has played that his entire career. This is a new deal for him. That is why Michael Braswell, when you get up in games, continues to come in at third base. I don't even know if Michael Braswell makes that play, though. Right? Like, I really don't. That's a tough play on Tanner Reeves. He looked like he didn't know he froze. Right? Like, he definitely froze on the line drive. Look, man, it's a tough play. I'm not going to get on the kid for that one at all. At all. But they do give him an error there. Did kind of look like it nicked him a little bit. It is what it is. The leadoff hitter, Walk, would fly out into right field, but guys, an all-SEC performer, okay, in Trey Gambill, we an RBI ground ball single right back up the middle. Guys, Trey Gambill is hitting over 380. He's one of the best hitters in the SEC. It was only a matter of time, healthy or not. We talked about this on Thursday or Wednesday, whenever it was. No, it was Wednesday when we were at Service Hawk Digital Media. You know, we did a whole special show, and we talked about Gambill a lot on that Thursday show. Like, hey, man, he's been banged up. He's got the hamstring. Don't know what his status is going to be. The report comes out of the injury report that the SEC mandated for teams to put out there. On Wednesday night, it came out from Oklahoma that he'd be questionable. Didn't play last night, got a pitch hit opportunity, put the ball in play, whatever. Tonight, runner on, he gets a ground ball RBI single right back up the middle. Guys, that's going to happen. I'm just glad it didn't go over any fences. Dude's got 8 home runs on the season. Like, dude's got serious power. Dude can really hit. It is what it is. You're going to have those situations. Anthony Ianson went up against one of the best hitters in the SEC, and he got you on one. That's what great hitters will do, man. Absolutely. I mean, look, you don't want that to happen, but a wild pitch from Anthony Ianson gets a runner to second base. You get a ground ball single right back up the middle, and Oklahoma in the third inning gets their first run of the series. Okay. Like, guys, I got to be real with you. I can live with it. I 1,000% can live with it. You're just not going to see – and listen, it's not as if that Oklahoma has faced shitty competition. Guys, we're in week 4 of the SEC, and the kid's hitting 380. So say what you will, say what you want. That kid is a bona fide dude in the SEC. He gets one right back up the middle. It is what it is. Ianson would get Carmichael to fly out, but Willits would hit a line drive into the 4-hole. They do a crazy shift on him. The ball goes into the corner. Like, I really don't know what happened there. And just a crazy shift, but it would play to run. I feel like if you just played head up, maybe it's a double. Run would still score, but I mean, I guess all in all, it would have been the same. But Anthony Ianson in the bottom of the third would get a ground ball to Jared Jones to get him out of the inning. 4-2 Tigers. I mean, it is what it is, man. At some point, you had to expect that they were going to respond, right? Like, it is what happens after that is the only thing that matters. Like, we can justify, we can watch, we can look at anything that we want to in reference to that third inning. Guys, I mean, to me, I'm not trying to display what Oklahoma has done or who they are. I'm kind of like, so what? because from that point on, you had Ianson that would shove. He would get in a little bit of trouble here and there. Evans wasn't even as sharp as he normally is tonight, and it didn't matter. They didn't score again. Like, I'm not going to harp on one half of an inning being not up to par and you give up 2 runs when you haven't given up a run all series. I'm just kind of like, like, whatever. It is what it is. Top of the 4th, Hernandez. And yes, thank you, Brandon, for reminding me. You want your comments read, you can bring in Super Chats. Throw your Super Chats into the chat right now if you do want to get your comment read. Thank you, Brandon, for bringing that up. Producer Brandon. Put it inside the chat. We'll get to all of those, but we'll get your comments. That's how you just know that it's 100% going to be read. Top of the 4th, Hernandez, line drive, ground ball single into the 4-hole. Taking it where it was pitched. Beautiful hitting. By the way, 4 hits on the weekend for Luis Hernandez. Yahtzee. Tanner Reeves would fly out into center field. Stanfield would strike out, and Curiel would ground out to second base. It is what it is. Anthony Ianson, bottom of the 4th. Remember, literally 30 seconds ago, I literally just said, 3rd inning, kind of like for me. In the beginning of the show, we talked about, look, man, hitters 1 through 4, really good. It's the only threat that they have at the current moment. It's the only guys that have gotten hits this weekend, pretty much. The top of the lineup for Oklahoma is where it was at. The issue here is, and not wanting to focus on, I shouldn't say the issue, but not wanting to focus on what happened in that 3rd inning. Remember that bottom of the order again. Branch comes up, strikeout. Taki comes up, strikeout. Willis comes up, strikeout. And Anthony Ianson absolutely shoves in the 4th. Guys, it's how you respond in these situations. You're going to give up runs. You're going to be in situations. Man, what an overall fantastic performance in reference to being able to come back. And it's one – look, guys, you're striking out an SEC team. You're striking out the side when it's a 2-run ball game, and you're absolutely dealing. Beautiful by Anthony Ianson there. So he would, in the 4th inning, he would get strikeouts 4, 5, and 6. Top of the 5th, Jones would hit a ground ball right back up the middle. Danny Dickinson would strike out. Ethan Fry would hit a pop-up behind first base that would be out. And Stephen Milam would get into a fielder's choice. Bottom of the 5th, adversity struck for Anthony Ianson. Gets a ground ball to second base. But the leadoff, again, this is just going to be all night. 1, 2, and 3 hitters come up. Here we go again. And I tweeted this during the game. I was like, hey, man, the last time that this happened, look, it's a 4-2 ball game. The last time hitters 9, 1, and 2 came up, you gave up 2 runs. This is a massive inning for Anthony Ianson because, guys, literally 15 minutes beforehand of just real life time, we saw this same situation play out. 9, 1, and 2 plated 2 runs. In the bottom of the 5th, you get a ground ball to second base that Danny Dickinson absolutely makes a ridiculous play. On the right side for him or the left side of the bag if you're facing it. He goes across the second base bag, fields it, off throw with 1 foot and makes a hell of a throw, sidearm, Yahtzee, he's out of there. Danny Dickinson, we just don't talk enough about. I want a gold cross earring. I hope the Easter Bunny brings me a cross earring so that I could put it on my left ear and be exactly like Danny Dickinson. The plays that he makes out in the field, and tonight hitting in the 9th inning a massive bomb. Guys, Louisiana, earring sales, cross earring sales in Louisiana are up 100%. No, 20,000% because everybody needs to buy one. Absolutely ridiculous play by Danny Dickinson. Anthony Ianson would see the 1, 2, and 3 hitters next. He would walk, pun intended. The leadoff guy's last name is Walk. So he the second hitter of the inning, he would walk him on 4 pitches. Then Gamble would come up. He would walk as well. So 1 out, runners on first and second. Nate Yeskie comes out to the mound. And I want to pause right here. I don't know if y'all saw the report, but Cokie Riley of The Advocate reported, I did not know this, that LSU pitching coach Nate Yeskie's father passed away this week. Apparently had been dealing with some illnesses, and unfortunately, and we are praying for pitching coach Nate Yeskie and his family. You want to know how guys feel about a coach? You want to know how guys react and want to play for a guy? You look at what Cade Anderson did last night, and you look at what Anthony Ionson's about to do here. That's how you know. Hey, man, last time we faced this lineup in this exact order, we gave up 2 runs. You've given up back-to-back walks. You got 1 out. What are you going to be made of here? And, bro, Anthony Ionson on 5 pitches gets 2 weak fly balls to center field and the left field, and you're out of the inning. You're out of the inning. Nate Yeskie, for what it's worth, right, wrong, or indifferent, has taken a crap load of heat at LSU. Guys ain't developing. Guys ain't looking good. Okay. Last year, LSU led the country in strikeouts. They led the country in strikeouts. Wasn't the best, wasn't the greatest. They led the country in strikeouts. Guys, in an SEC series, they've given up 1 earned run in 18 innings pitched. 1 earned run. 1. Even if you wanted to just say, look, they've only scored 2 runs. Even if it was 2. And let's say they don't give the error to Tanner Reeves. Even if it's 2. Guys, they scored 2 runs in 2 games. That is how. So to break up a little bit of the flow here in this show, that's how you 1,000% know how guys and people are going to react to your pitching coach. That's how you react when your coach is going through some shit. Absolutely fantastic. Let's go to the top of the 6th. You know, momentum in baseball is a hell of a drug. A hell of a drug. I feel like after that 5th inning and they couldn't get back in the game and get a run, I literally made a mental note as we flipped the page. Literally, as we flipped the page here. I was like, man, if LSU can come out here in the 6th inning and play to run, this one might be over. Because you got Casey Evans waiting in the wings. God bless Jesus. Josh Pearson leads off the top of the 6th inning. The first of one of his 2 home runs tonight. Absolute blast into right field. LSU leads 5-2. Man, what a Josh Pearson. Man, look, man, you just got depth. That's how you know. Josh Pearson didn't start last night. He didn't start last night. You have a rotation between Josh Pearson, Ethan Fry, and Jake Brown. You think Josh Pearson in his last season of baseball wants to play? Absolute moonshot to lead off the inning in the top of the 6th. You get it rolling. Oklahoma would change their pitcher. They go to Hensley. Hernandez would ground out to third. Tanner Reeves would walk. Chris Stanfield hits a bloop single in the left field where his bat flew off into the air. Thank God it didn't hit the catcher or the umpire in the head. That's when you know the baseball gods are on your side. Guys, Chris Stanfield, I feel like even last weekend, just continues to deliver in these clutch situations. Seriously. But Stanfield with a bloop single in the left field. Bat goes flying. Baseball gods on his side. Wouldn't matter, though, because Sampson would come in, the big lefty for Oklahoma, and Derek Carriel would hit into a 4-6-3 double play. So got some guys on, but a double play kills it for you, and you're out of the inning. Bottom of the sixth, Anthony Ianson gets Christensen and Branch to strike out. Then he has a walk by Taki. So he gets his seventh and eighth strikeout in the sixth inning. And then he has a walk and then gives up an infield single, very, very weakly hit to Stephen Milam. He can't make a play on it. It was a bad throw. Thank God Bear Jones was able to get a glove on it. And that would be the night he did not give up the hit. Evans would get up the hit. I need to move my thumb. He would strike out the first two batters, and then he would give up a walk. I guess you can ask, maybe why do you think Anthony Ianson maybe was out in that situation? But, guys, you're going to Casey Evans in the sixth. He was 107 pitches. Was Anthony Ianson tonight? It is what it is. But let's stop right there. Anthony Ianson, 8 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs, 1 earned run. So that means, guys, in 2 starts for Anthony Ianson, who I have been very tough on, is only given up 2 earned runs in his last 2 starts. 2 earned runs his last 2 starts. Great stuff from him. That is a hell of a way to respond in the SEC. The first 4 starts for Anthony Ianson against P4 opponents was not great. Guys, he was giving up a run an inning per average. It was 8.86 ERA or 8.36 ERA, whatever it was. Wasn't great. Guys, these last 2 starts for Anthony Ianson has been very, very serviceable for you. I will take him giving you 5 2/3, 6, 7 innings pitch with that amount of production. Absolutely fantastic by Anthony Ianson, especially when you can go to the pen for a guy like Casey Evans. Evans would give up the infield single to the 6-hole to Milam, but he would respond by getting a strikeout to end the 6th inning. Top of the 7th, back-to-back line drive singles into right field would be Jones and Dickinson. Ethan Fry would strike out. Stephen Milam would hit into a fielder's choice that does score a run off of an error. Put the ball in play. That's why coaches always tell you, listen, put the ball in play, good things happen. You get 2 back-to-back singles by Jones and Dickinson. You get a strikeout by Fry, but Stephen Milam could have easily, they could have been easily out of the inning. But, man, sometimes when you put the ball in play, just good things are going to happen. An error by Oklahoma would play to run as the ball was thrown in the dugout as they were attempting to get a double play. Josh Pearson would fly out into left field, and it would end the inning so the Tigers would get a run there. Casey Evans on the top of the lineup would get a ground ball single right back up the middle, but it wouldn't matter because he would get 2 or 3 straight fly balls to get him out of the inning. 2 to center field and 1 to Stephen Milam. So you give up a ground ball single back up the middle, and it meant absolutely nothing. Absolutely flawless. Top of the 8th, Hernandez would strike out Braswell, would walk Stanfield, would get an infield single, so runners on first and second with 1 out. Derek Carriel would hit into a fielder's choice, and so would Jared Jones, and Oklahoma would get out of the inning. So, look, man, I mean, it was only a matter of time because you're putting the ball in play at this point. It's just you're hitting the ball right at him, and you're hitting the ball hard. It is what it is. LSU up still 6-2. Casey Evans goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 8th, getting a fly out, a strikeout, and a weak ground ball to Danny Dickinson, but he had to make an absolutely ridiculous play on it to get you out of the inning, but he'd go 1-2-3. Top of the 9th, the LSU Tigers absolutely explode in the top of the 9th as Danny Dickinson, who, guys, has lived up to some of the hype right now. Right? Like Danny Dickinson, at least for me, has certainly lived up to some of this hype that he had coming in here. Elite glove, elite talent at second base, and he can really hit. God, this kid is special, man. He's really good ball player. But he gets a home run into left field into the wind. Guys, everybody on the telecast, everybody tweeting this weekend, oh, man, the wind's blowing in about 20 miles an hour. And it's blowing in from left center. So, I mean, like, he's hitting it into the wind. That means he absolutely blasted the baseball. Now, I don't know if y'all saw this, but I retweeted it or reposted it, quoted it, whatever you want to say. There was an LSU Tiger fan. So this is to Go Bird Go on Twitter. I don't know if this is his daughter or niece or whatever, sister. I don't know. But maybe his daughter. But the Danny Dickinson home run was caught by an LSU fan. And I want to say this. First off, that is absolutely awesome. I absolutely love seeing that. That is so cool. Secondly, guys, all weekend it has felt like LSU's kind of played like a mini home game on the road. That environment for Oklahoma has been horrible. So to Go Bird Go on Twitter, I retweeted them or reposted them. Absolutely awesome stuff, man. So the little LSU Tiger fan gets the Danny Dickinson home run. Hopefully she gets him to sign it. That would be really cool. But Danny Dickinson at the top of the ninth does get a bomb into left field. Ethan Fry would strike out looking. Man, Ethan had a rough game. It's all right. He's been pretty good as of late. It's okay to have an off night, but he did have an off night. Something to monitor. And listen, what's crazy, dude? I say that. Look, Ethan Fry's still going to be in the lineup. The dude's been on fire. You can't overreact to him having a bad day. But, man, the rotation of Ethan Fry, Josh Pearson, and Jake Brown is ridiculous. Guys, I got to say this. I've had a lot of people ask about Ashton Larson. Guys, look, the truth is, I know a lot of you want Ashton Larson to get some looks. The overall fact and truth is that he's just kind of gotten beaten out. And you hate that it's happened to a young player. You don't want him to transfer, but it's just the truth. Right? Like, that's just the overall truth. He's gotten beaten out. But a rough night, but just a hell of a rotation regardless. Stephen Milam would line out to the second baseman. Here's another thing I want to bring up for the weekend. I feel like this weekend so far for LSU, the innings where you have gotten runs, the innings where you have exploded, either last night or tonight, like Chris Stanfield to lead off the game. You got runners on base. There's 2 outs after you have back-to-back strikeouts. Chris Stanfield, line drive into left field, 2 runs score. Danny Dickinson hits a home run, but you have 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Then Josh Pearson comes up and gets into the action, which, again, like, bro, what? Like, that's another part of that Fry-Brown rotation. He had a 2 home run night. Josh Pearson said, listen, I do not like sitting on that bench. I am not going to let me sit on that bench. I'm going Yahtzee again just so you know you got to play me tomorrow. Competition, when you have really good players and great players, when you have this much competition, when you have this level of competition, it just breeds success. Now, in a minute, and later on the show, I'm going to go on a little bit of rant. And I want you to remember this. This is why when you keep bringing in top overall number 1 recruiting classes, this is what it all looks like. Guys, Ethan Fry, Jake Brown, and Josh Pearson, all are hitting above 300, and you're rotating them in and out based off of who's hot or not. And tonight it was Josh Pearson. And Josh had been struggling a little bit. Got benched. Hey, man, listen, all right, I better figure it out. And hits 2 bombs. So LSU explodes in the ninth. Hernandez gets his second hit of the night as well. Ground ball, single, right back up the middle. Michael Braswell getting into the action with a line drive single into left field as well. Stanfield. Here comes Stanny again. Chris Stanfield with a hell of a night, baby. Hell of a night for Stanfield. A 3-hit performance by Stanny with his second 2 RBI double in the left field. So he led off his first at bat, getting a 2 RBI double in the left field. He did it again in the 9th inning. Now, the kid in left field for Oklahoma made a sliding catch, and he almost caught it, popped out of his glove. But Stanny, 4 RBI night, and the Tigers would win 10-2, and we know that, but absolutely fantastic by Stanfield. Guys, both times, the first one I know that he saw a curveball low and inside. I feel like that it was the same thing again, that he saw an off-speed pitch early in the count and he tattooed it. Good on him, because he's been struggling with it. Derek Curiel would walk and Jerry Jones would strike out looking. And in the bottom of the 9th, you would have an error by Josh Pearson, which we completely just don't worry about. Hoffman would strike out. Horton would strike out, and you get a ground ball at the end of the game. And the Tigers would take the series in Norman. So, guys, you've taken 3 of the 4 series that you've played in. The only team that you've lost to has been the Texas Longhorns, who, guys, by the way, tonight they beat the number 3 Georgia Bulldogs at home. Texas is 9-1, man. Texas is 9-1. They're a good team. They're a good team. But tomorrow you go for a chance to sweep 3 of the first series that you've been in. Now you're scheduled down the road. You got Arkansas. You have Tennessee. You have Auburn that run-ruled Alabama tonight, by the way. Sammy Dutton, the legend of Sammy Dutton. By the way, Auburn and Texas had guys that can pitch complete games. Dutton did it in 7 innings. The long-haired, orange-haired kid, red-headed kid from Texas did it. Tennessee threw a no-hitter tonight in 7 innings, which, by the way, Michael Early at A&M's fired. He's fired. So you continue to stay with the top dogs. But the SEC is absolutely loaded in baseball, man. You have Texas out there 9-1. Georgia's still out there. Just because they lost to Texas tonight doesn't mean anything to me. They're still a really good ball club. Kentucky is kind of emerging. Ole Miss is kind of emerging. As if I'm not mistaken, they tied the series with Kentucky. Today, they had to play a doubleheader today for whatever reason. I guess weather. You have Tennessee that's lost 1 game in the SEC. A&M absolutely sucks. Mississippi State absolutely sucks. And you got to face A&M. Guys, A&M might be one of the worst teams that I've seen. They are so bad. They got run ruled and no hit tonight. That's how the Michael Early era is going. Is that you go up to Knoxville, the number 1 team in the country, and they no-hit you in 7 innings, and they run rule your ass. They got to make a move. And I hate it. Look, there's no love lost by me when it comes to Texas A&M. No love lost. Y'all know that, and I know that. The truth of it is, Michael Early, and I like me and Chris Phillips, as an example, had this discussion. He's in over his head, dude. He's in over his head. So you going on the road to Oklahoma, so to wrap this in an LSU bow of like where things stand, because you lost a series to a top 5 team on the road. Okay, whatever. Like that's going to happen. You finished 4th in the SEC when you won a natty. Like Vandy is not a bad team. Like, golly, man. Florida still sucks, though. We'll see, man. We'll see. But an overall, just a fantastic win. To go on the road, win on the road in the SEC is never easy. You kind of took over, Norman, if we're being honest. And I don't know if y'all saw this. I was sent this, though. Apparently, apparently, no, we gotta leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone. All right, let's get to a couple comments here. Carvis says on YouTube, UConn spanking UCLA. That was supposed to be Our Lady Tigers. Yeah, not good. Not good. I didn't watch a second of it. Once LSU's out of it, man, I don't really pay attention to basketball. I mean, I'll watch the Final Four or whatever, but I'm not like the bearing or the ending of it means no bearing to me. I could care less. Stephen Fry says Danny Dick's glove is highly underrated. Our good friends over at Fry Construction Units, 337-457-5100. Dirt surfaces, all that stuff. Hauling, they do it all. But he's right. He's absolutely right. Danny Dickinson is really freaking good at second base. He's a really good defender. And with that being said, I mean, guys at the plate, what's he hitting, 360? He had a bomb tonight. I mean, like, he had a multi-hit game. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Craig Kolb and our good buddy Craig. What's up, buddy? Glad to see you in here, my man. And Greg both say Stanfield was a problem tonight, and he had a hell of a game. Guys, we talked about this last weekend. Seriously. Guys, when people and players, I don't give two Rudy Poos who it is. So let's talk about Stanfield for tonight. Even last night. Guys, are there going to be games where you don't get a hit? Yes. Like, yes. But, guys, he has been really hitting the ball hard. I'm of the opinion. Now, I don't think he's going to walk out 8 home runs this year. There's going to be a time come late April, early May, where some of this shit that he's hitting hard is going to get out. Hell, it can even be mid-May and you're in the SEC tournament and that shit goes flying. He's hitting the ball hard, man. Look, he has struggled with off-speed stuff. He did tonight. 4 RBIs in any game is ridiculous. Danny Dickinson, it was the Danny Dickinson show last weekend with 6 RBIs. I mean, that is nuts. Is he perfect at the plate? No. Is there a lot to work on? Yes. But I'll tell you this. My man's got some of the quickest hands that I've ever seen. Some of these situations with pitches on the outside of the plate, I know this is going to sound stupid. I wish he would slow his swing down just a minute just to get enough, let your lower half do the work. I do feel like he's using a lot of his upper half, and look, he pulls everything, which good on him, but learn to if Chris Stanfield had the ability to really start taking the ball the other way, guys, he'd be one of the best hitters. He'd be I shouldn't say one of the best hitters. He would be a really damn good hitter. He would be a damn near perfect leadoff, if we're being honest. Now, I don't know if he comes back here next year or anything like that. But he has that opportunity. Another year could service him. But you say that, and then look at Brazzy for an example. So yeah, Sean says that Gavin Guidry starts tomorrow. Yeah, no. Guys, I look, we had this conversation last night. I'm not getting back into it with you. I'm not about Gavin Guidry. I refuse to do it. I think it would be foolish. And listen, Jay does not need me at all for anything. I think it would be foolish to run him out there the first time he pitches this year against an SEC opponent, unless you are really up on somebody or you're really down against somebody. Then let him go out there and get some work. Other than that, I'm throwing him in a midweek. Now, I know that, and I saw a comment in here earlier, which here's one right here from Jeff Jones. Blake, does Cowan start tomorrow? I don't know. See, I highly doubt it. I mean, they've already made an announcement that Shores was starting. And guys, did y'all see Cowan in the bullpen? He was not coming in tonight. Guys, he was in like it looked like he probably did, and I'm not saying he didn't, but it looked like my man wasn't even like he wasn't dressed. He didn't look like he was ready to go. He did warm up in the bullpen last night. So, no, I don't think he starts. And listen, if you want to go for a sweep, go for it. Maybe he can pitch. I mean, if you get in that situation. Chad says being able to save Cowan for Saturday is awesome also. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And then you got a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series next week. So it's not like the days he missed a day technically, but no, man. This is insane. This is insane. Epic Shawty says somebody must have accidentally hit the button for the fireworks. I saw that. Epic, I saw that. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh, this is what I was going to say earlier. And then I left it alone. No, I probably should. No, F it. Screw it. It doesn't matter. Did y'all see, what is it, Message Board Geniuses on Twitter? They post like all this crazy stuff from message boards. And Oklahoma fans were like, they were like freaking out in reference to like, we never beat LSU in anything. We're about to get swept. They own us in every single thing that they do. Yes, we do. Because there ain't no love in Oklahoma. We do kind of own them in everything. It's like our new A&M, which we still kind of technically own them too. Paul Top Martin on YouTube says, I say we experiment tomorrow by starting Cowan. Paul Sub, I just don't think Jay will do that. I think he's going to run Shores back out there. I mean, now listen, I would not mind seeing that. And you can make the excuse that Chase Shores has got 4 stitches in his eye, which he does. I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. Maybe it does. I just don't think it will. Speak of the man, and he will arrive. Chris Phillips, SEC Unfiltered. We were just talking about you, buddy. Good, all good. No T-ball drama. He says, is $5 a pound for crawfish a good deal? You guys in the chat, is $5 a pound for crawfish a good deal? Now, Jake McKeever, I think that's his last name. I apologize if I said that wrong. Said that he got $5 for all you can eat crawfish. Ain't no man on planet Earth getting all you can eat crawfish for $5 unless you like hooking up with a hobo on the side of the road that boiled some crawfish and said, I'm just going to give you $5. Give me $5. No, that ain't going to happen. Boiled, by the way, Anthony. Boiled. Ain't no way. $5 a pound? Ain't no way. No, I wouldn't do $5 a pound, and I sure as hell would know that ain't no $5 for no damn all you can eat. This ain't no Chinese buffet. By the way, I don't know where y'all grew up. Y'all know at my growing up, our Chinese buffet did have crawfish in it. It did. Brandon Graziano, who saved me from shaving my beard a couple years ago, says he really might start tomorrow. Did you see Shores' eye? I did. But I don't know. Look, I would not care if he did at all. Ryan. Delete that comment. Todd Davis says, where was that at, Blake and Ponchatoula? No, it was actually in Franklinton. $5 or $8 for all you can eat crawfish. Now, the crawfish sucked. They sucked. You ain't going there to eat no crawfish. I promise you that. Tulsa Dive on YouTube says, compared to the prices in North Carolina, it's a damn deal. Well, that's North Carolina. No, we got crawfish about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and it was probably like right around $4 a pound, like $3.50, $4 a pound. Not bad at all. Adam says, did you play with Charlie Lester? I did. Charlie was Charles Lester. If Charlie ever sees the show, he'll know that. But Charlie Lester, yes. Lee, Brandon, Jiron, Terrence McGee, Brandon Taylor. Who else was there when I was there? Evan and Clay Tajon. Aaron Maples, who pitched at Southeastern. Josh Robinson that played was the running back at Mississippi State. Yep. Oh, Charles, the lefty. Throwing that thing in there 88 to 90. It was wicked speed. Brandon Reese says, wouldn't be surprised if most Chinese restaurants in Louisiana do have crawfish. They do. Yeah, that Franklinton teams were loaded back in the gap. They were loaded. Bro, you had Brandon Taylor and Terrence McGee in the backfield. Both of them played at LSU. So loaded stack. Loaded roster, man. All right. Dr. John Sibley Butler says, I'm the best basketball player to ever come out of Franklinton, and that's a fact. Oh, gosh. We ain't had a lot of basketball talent come out, so Dr. Butler may very well be. Graziano says, I know you knew, Gerald Seafood's son. We went to Gerald Seafood every Sunday back in the day, son. What? Gerald's was where it's at. You get out of church, Brother Luther at the pulpit. Hey. That fried chicken. Listen now. Washington Paris got them Pentecostals, bro. And them Pentecostals eat that fried chicken on Sundays. They eat that fried chicken on Sundays now. You get out to Gerald's after 11:30 and see what happens. Y'all go out there to Gerald's and see what happens at 11:30. You ain't getting no fried chicken. You're going to wait until 12:30. Better get there at 12:30 then. But if you do get there at 12:30, they've been sipping that shit in the back, and that shit be getting fire now. Gerald's was the spot. Best chicken and dumplings this side of the Mississippi. I promise you to God, I've had a lot of chicken and dumplings in my day. And I'm not a chicken and dumplings fan, if I'm being honest. I am not a chicken and dumplings fan. That shit was slapping. They'd had some fried okra up in that thing. If you go during the week, now it's expensive as hell. If you went on Thursdays, which a lot of us used to go on Thursdays, if you go on Thursdays, they used to have all you could eat crab legs. Boy, $20. And back in the gap, $20 was a lot of money. $20 for all you could eat crab legs? Shit. Big J. Cole says, Blake, as a Pentecostal, this is valid. We eat. I'm telling you, them Pentecostals, man, they eat that fried chicken now. They eat that fried chicken. Don't let them Pentecostals fool your ass now. They out there eating. Pause. But they are. I can tell you what's on every Pentecostal's plate from here to the border, any borderline in the United States. They're going to have fried chicken, chicken and dumplings, green beans, and cornbread. And if you ain't got chicken and dumplings, they're going to side it with red beans. 1,000%, that is the number one Pentecostal dish in America. There does not exist another Pentecostal dish than what I just read out. They're going to leave church from praising the Lord. They're going to go home, and they're going to go home, or they're just going to go from church, depending on how things went. They're going to get dressed. They're going to come back to Gerald's. They're going to get that fried chicken, chicken and dumpling, green beans, cornbread. And you best believe if they're feeling a little sin, they're going to drink that green tea. I mean, not green tea. They're going to drink that sweet tea. 100%. $1,000%. Anyway, I did not know that tonight we'll be talking about what Pentecostals eat, but I'm telling you the truth. I've seen it with my own eyes for a lifetime. All right. Before we get out of here, hold on. Say, bro, Homa's got the best fried chicken in the country, and I love the Blue Store. Dr. Butler says that Danny's Fried Chicken was the best in Franklin. Blake is a bit younger than me. They had them fried rolls and fried pistolettes up at Danny's Fried Chicken. Dr. Butler, they got one in Houma. They got one in Houma, Louisiana. Danny's Fried Chicken, Popeyes, Chick-fil-A, what's another one? Zaxby's, Raising Cane's, ain't got nothing on Danny's Fried Chicken. And it does not exist now. They be seasoning they fried chicken as a fast food place. Fried rolls, brother. Jesus made Danny's Fried Chicken. Anyway, sweet tea, heaven's nectar. Don't do me like that, says Pentecostal Jake. I'm telling you. See, I'm telling you. It's the truth. 1,000% the truth. All right. Before we get out of here, I need to address something. So, I was sent today a message board, LSU content leaning about something that we posted this week. What we posted this week and what made a message board, there's only a couple, and no, it's not anybody that runs an independent one. That I am being too negative and don't know what I'm seeing at LSU football practice. I'm not going to address that. You may think that I'm wrong. If you think I'm wrong, go right on ahead. I'm there. You're not. Take my opinion. Don't take my opinion. I don't care. Here's the truth. Last year, I told you that you were going to turn the ball over a lot. You did. Last year, I said, I don't know if you're going to be able to run the football or if your D-line's just that bad, but one thing's for sure, your D-line's getting absolutely patty smacked. They got patty smacked this year. Said you were bad at safety. You were still bad at safety. I have mentioned multiple times of positive things that I've seen from this team so far this spring. Wide receiver, edge, corner. Wide receiver, edge, and corner. The interior offensive line and some of the interior of your defensive line has not played up, in my opinion, to a playoff level team. That is the goal here, is it not? That is the goal. The goal is for this year is for LSU to be a playoff team. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you do not believe, if you Blake, no. Okay, then we need to reclassify our expectations of what this place is. Then you, with both quarterbacks, have turned the ball over, in my opinion, too much this spring. Hate me for it, love me for it. I don't care. It is the truth. Blake, it's turnovers in practice. That's what it was. Turnovers in practice last year. It was turnovers in practice last year. I know that you feel like I'm being too negative. Guys, I'm being real with you. The way that I see it. We could come out here in August and shit can change. But I'm going to tell you the way that I see it. I'm not, guys, here is the wildest shit that I saw in this message board post was that negativity sells. Guys, no, it does not. No, it does not. I promise you it doesn't. Our biggest videos ever, from a live stream standpoint, whether it be views or downloads, were you beating Bama? Were you beating Ole Miss? Was an A&M game, the last Jane Daniels game, not even football related. Women's basketball national championship, LSU basketball national championship. Or LSU baseball national championship. The series with Tennessee in 23. Guys, that whole weekend when we did post-game shows, that whole weekend was insane. Off-season content. You know what sells? When I post a video out there that says, I think LSU baseball is going to be one of the Omaha 8. That hits. That slaps. So, I have been doing this since 2017. I still have so much that I need to learn in this business. And I'm not acting like I know everything because I will be wrong and will admit where I'm wrong and have done it on the show and will continue to do it. But guys, I'm telling you, I'm telling you what sells. Another thing that was in this post, that LSU got out recruited for Blaine Bradford against Ohio State. And the excuses were from some of you, was that either number one, I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. If that's your excuse, okay, fine. Well, then number two, Blaine Bradford said that. He confirmed the story that we said literally the next day after we had reported it. Either I'm getting really lucky a lot or we know something. But here was the craziest thing of all that I saw. Well, Blaine Bradford can't play. Aiden Hall's better than him, which Aiden Hall very well may be better than him. I don't know. I have no clue. Here's what I know. They don't play the same position, and you need as much safety help as you can get. So, yes, you better flip him. Guys, don't move a goalpost when something bad happens. Don't move a goalpost when something good happens. Don't do it. Do not do it. But to address it, because you were 8-4 a year ago. You have not gotten better in your interior offensive line. You're losing 4 offensive linemen. They haven't been great this spring because they haven't been good this spring. They've been below average to average. This is how I want to end this. You tell me what you think. The last time we saw this offense in team drills, real 11-on-11, they went a 2-minute warning twice with the first team. They couldn't score. They didn't score. They went in the red zone. They were 1-8 in the red zone. The 3 weeks ago, they went team and they started at the 20-yard line. They punted twice, or simulated punted twice. And you are asking me, and you're trying to tell me that what we're seeing out there is not been a defense that's winning. Guys, in my humble opinion, it should be a little bit more 50-50 than what it is. It's not that right now. Come August, can that change? Without a doubt. Without a doubt, it can change. I pray to God for my business's sake that it changes. I pray to God that come August, the reports are Garrett Nussmeier's unstoppable. LSU somehow found a running game. Defensive line, even though they found a little bit of a running game, you got a lot of younger classmen making plays. Edge is still looking really good. And by the way, corner play, I mean, these throws by Garrett are just elite, and they're trying to make plays and they can't. And you have a Jamar Chase-esque versus Derek Stingley-esque type of practice. Cool. I'm fine with that. I am like, cool. Let it go both ways. Guys, it's not. It's not. So then don't take my word for how those plays break down. Wilson Alexander of The Advocate. Go over to his play sheet of what happened during practice. I guarantee you, I know for a fact that we're going to have the same exact play log. You know how I know? Because we stand next to one another and log it down. Every single snap. Every single snap gets logged down. And a discussion is had with, what did you see there? 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 He's probably so pissed off at me about asking what in the hell he's seeing because I'm trying to pick his brain on what he's seeing. So, say whatever you will. Agree with the opinion. Don't like the opinion. I could care less. Well, Blake, why are you talking about it? Because I think there needs to be an understanding of the justification of what's been out there is, yeah, well, it's spring or this, and this. And all the excuses. Guys, the kid came out and blamed Bradford. You're blaming me for the relationship that Ryan Day has with him. So let's not take Blake Ruffino's word for it. Let's take his article again with On3 for it. Here is the quote. I have a better relationship with Ryan Day than I have with other coaching staffs. That is a direct quote. We'll just justify anything we want to. All right. We'll see y'all. Well, we won't see y'all tomorrow. It is my anniversary tomorrow. Not technically. We're going out to eat for our anniversary tomorrow. Our anniversary is on Sunday. So I won't see you for a post game tomorrow. I am taking my wife out to eat. So, until then, until tomorrow, we'll see y'all soon. Y'all all have a blessed night. Peace.